Hi, this is Bharti, and we are here at KubeCon and CloudNativeCon in Barcelona, Spain. And today we have with us Kearns, Executive Director of Cloud Foundry, and you also sometimes call yourself CEO and the Queen of the Cloud.
Yes.
We are here at KubeCon, which is about Kubernetes, and Cloud Foundry is doing a lot of work with Kubernetes. What has been your experience so far? Because you have been walking around, meeting a lot of people.
I mean, I've been to nearly every CloudNativeCon, KubeCon since the beginning. They definitely keep getting bigger.
Is getting bigger good? Because I get mixed feelings from people. Some people say when it's smaller, then you have very concentrated group where you know who you're talking. When it's become too big, it's just way too many people. So
I think it depends. This isn't all just about Kubernetes. This is CloudNativeCon. So it's all about the cloud native technologies that are in the Cloud Native Computing Foundation. And so I think the size is really commensurate with the enthusiasm and the excitement around these technologies. And there's not just one technology, there's so many technologies. Kubernetes is one, but I mean, other projects we should all be excited about are Envoy and Prometheus and Containerd and the Linkerd. There's just so many cool things going on. And I think this really represents the opportunity to have a very disparate conversation around cloud native. There's so many different fundamental pieces that we're all talking about here. And over the years, that's going to evolve. These things are going to commoditize, and we're going to keep moving up the stack as we start solving the bigger, grander vision, which is really reinventing this whole landscape.
Let's talk about the work, Cloud Foundry community is doing with Kubernetes community.
Well, yeah, we've been working with Kubernetes for a couple of years now. So in 2017, we announced our distribution of Kubernetes, which was Cloud Foundry Container Runtime. And last year, we started doing work on a project called Eirini, which is offering a pluggable scheduler inside Cloud Foundry for those users that want to run Kubernetes as the container scheduler in lieu of Diego. That project was called Eirini. And we announced at Summit that it had passed all of its acceptance testing and was starting to move a little bit closer to being finalized and moved into the upstream. So we were really excited about Eirini project and what it represents, but also the evolution that the platform is taking organically is really exciting. And I'm really thrilled to see the community really stepping up and embracing emerging technologies as they come up in the cloud native space.
So what is Eirini? What exact problem you're trying to solve here? And are people already using it? If they are, in what capacity?
It's still in alpha, but IBM is using it, and it basically offers users of Cloud Foundry an opportunity to use an alternate scheduler. So Diego has been the container scheduler that Cloud Foundry has had since for many years now, and it has been around. It predates Kubernetes and has been the de facto container scheduler as well as the heart of Cloud Foundry for many years. But we also wanted to explore the opportunity of what Kubernetes brings to the table. And so we created Eirini. The community stepped up and really did the work on Eirini and brought it forward. It became an incubated project last year. And now to see that it's passing acceptance testing has been really exciting. And it's been really powerful to see all of the companies working together to make that a reality and bring it into the upstream.
So what kind of community it comprises? You mentioned IBM is using it and testing in some capacity. So
IBM, SAP, SUSE were early on, and Pivotal has joined, and Google is part of the project as well. So it's actually got a lot of people working on it, and there's a lot of enthusiasm in the community around seeing that Cloud Foundry experience, bringing in more of these cloud native technologies like Kubernetes. I mean, last year we brought in Envoy. We were Containerd. Prior to that, we were one of the first to productionize the Run C from OCI. So we have a history of pulling these technologies in, but this really represents a really big move that I'm really excited about.
How do you define the Cloud Foundry community?
Community are people that are members of the foundation or contributors. The contributor base continues to grow. We're at, I think last count, we're about 3,500 contributors that are working on Cloud Foundry. So we have a growing contributor base. Our members continue to grow as well. I think every summit, I'm always blown away by new users that I didn't know that were using Cloud Foundry. And so it's always exciting to see new users that come up and really want to talk about the work they're doing with Cloud Foundry. Our summits tend to be about 50% of the attendees are users. And so that's always exciting to hear them get on stage and talk about their journey. So we're continuing to see usage grow. And the users we've had for years are just growing and expanding their base. Comcast is up to about 40,000 AIs. Home Depot is up to, I think, 8,000 or 9,000. So we're just seeing Cloud Foundry users we've been talking about for years, but running it at real scale now, and that's been really exciting, just to see what it looks like at scale.
So are these your existing users who are scaling, or are you also seeing some new users as well?
Both, right? We're seeing, both sides of it. Users we didn't know that were using it, we discovered in the past few months, like Sky Telecom from the UK. Apparently they've been using it for years on the open source. So it's always exciting to see these new users like, oh yeah, we've been using you for years, and really wanted to be part of the conversation.
The use case, when it becomes broad, it becomes hard to keep focused on what you wanted to do.
Well, that's really the struggle with any open source, right? Because when you open source a technology, any technology, doesn't matter what it is, you're asking a broader number of participants to be part of the development of that technology, which means they're going to bring their own perspectives of what that future looks like. And so you're always threading the needle in an open source tech group between what the users want and what the core looks like, and how do you maintain that core vision, and what is that vision? And the one thing that's been so fantastic about Cloud Foundry, and I've been part of this community for 5 years now, is that Cloud Foundry has always had a really steadfast vision around what it is and what that means. And we continue to have that vision. And that vision is quite simple: to be the best platform for developers, full stop. And so if you keep your eye on that vision and you keep your eye on what the evolution of that looks like, then it really brings together both a fantastic opportunity to evolve the whole of the technology as time moves on, but also still trying to find the best way to address that at end game, which is how do we make the developer's life easier? And that's the end of the day. We want to bring the CF push experience to every developer.
So, Abby, thanks for talking to me today.
My pleasure.
And of course, you are a regular on our show, so we'll see you soon again.
I feel like I've been coming on this show for years.
Thank you.